Should you start teaching your child how to read using sight words? Today we're going to talk about why it is better to start teaching your child how to sound out short vowel words first before tackling sight words. Stick around. Hi, I'm Rebecca with the Parent Teacher Bridge, where you can find the ideas and resources you need to empower you to be your child's most influential teacher. I know that some of you out there probably have a child who is trying to recover from a really bad year at school. If you think about it, the last 2 years really have been sort of crazy, especially for some of these children that COVID schooling is all they've ever known. And I know that you as the parent, you're busy, so I'm going to help you find ways that you can help your child learn to read that won't take up too much time. So when I say short vowel words, I'm talking about one syllable words. They might have 3 letters in them, like cat or pig or dog, or they might have as many as 4 or 5 letters in them, even a word like split. Basically, we're looking for one syllable, and the vowel is not saying its name. Now, when I'm working with children, I like for them to have in their mind a picture for every single vowel. So if it's the letter A, I want them to think A, apple. E, I want them to think elephant. I want them to think igloo. O, I want them to think octopus. And U, I want them to think umbrella. So it can be very helpful to have an ABC chart nearby with some of those picture clues. So if you're not doing that yet with your child, you might want to grab something like that. I like for children to learn the short vowel sounds first. I want that to be the default so that when they're sounding out a word, they can first try the short vowel sound before they try making the vowel say its name. Now, let me give you the reason for that. One syllable short vowel words are often closed in. Now, this is a syllable type. If you would like to have more information about the different syllable types out there, I will leave in the description below. I have a syllable type guide that you can look at. And a lot of us didn't learn how to read that way, but a lot of teachers are finally catching on to teaching how to read using different syllable types. This closed syllable type, like you would see in words like cat, dog, split, or even 2-letter words such as in or it, the vowel is not going to say its name. Now that's a rule, and we are talking about English here, so there will be some exceptions to that rule. But the closed syllable type is the most common syllable type in the English language. So I always start with that one. So before you do anything else like learning how vowels say their name, if they have an E at the end of the word and any of those things, or before you get into things like 2 vowels together such as OA or EA, any of those special circumstances that make vowels sound different, I never get into any of that when teaching a child to read until they have short vowel words, those one syllable short vowel words really down, where I could put any of those words in front of them and they could learn to sound it out on their own, whether that be a real word or whether that be a nonsense word. I do have a video about nonsense words. If you'd like to watch that, I will leave a link in the description below. Let's say I have a child coming in and they already know a little bit about reading. Maybe they're a little bit familiar with consonant, vowel, consonant words. So many times they just haven't had enough practice reading enough of those types of words before someone's asking them to actually sit down and read an entire book that may be filled with sight words, some of which can't be sounded out as easily, or that may be filled with words that have those special circumstances like 2 vowels put together or an R beside the vowel. And that brings all these new rules and things they need to remember to the table, and it can really confuse them. So oftentimes you just need to hang out in this space of learning short vowel words first. That is, words that have a closed syllable. Now, without going into all the syllable types, let me tell you a little bit about the closed syllable type through an example. Let's think about the word hit. The I is closed in with the letter T, so it does not say its name, it says I. Okay? Even if I take off the H at the front of the word and I make the word it, the I is still short because it's still being closed in by the T. So it gets closed in after the vowel, not in front of the vowel. So I just teach that to children based on the direction in which we read. If I take off the T, the I is not closed in anymore, and therefore it says its name, as in the word hi. Now at first we use 3-letter words. We read words like hit, caught, hut, pug, nap, and fig. We also read nonsense words like nug, hod, sug, hap, and jub. Now, one of my favorite ways to practice is with hands-on letters like ABC magnets. Before a child can read the words, you can show them how to move each letter as you make the sound. You can search for CVC words, CCVC, CVCC, or CCVCC. And remember, the C just means consonant and the V means vowel. Now, this is very important, okay? There is no need to rush your child into independently reading a book until they actually have enough word practice sounding out these basic one-syllable short vowel words. Your child will like reading so much better if you wait a little while on that. Now, by all means, if your child shows interest and they want to, fine. Otherwise, continue reading to them and give them lots of word play and word practice, switching out those letter sounds. Now, this can be done in the evening if your child is in school. And of course, if you're homeschooling, you have a little bit more freedom where that's concerned. You can just fit it in anywhere throughout your day. But I was working full-time when I taught my first child how to read just by using ABC refrigerator magnets. Now, when your child learns how to read these short vowel, closed syllable words, it's going to help them out when they do get to longer words that they encounter when they're actually reading in books. Because one of the hints that's included in my 5 quick tips to immediately help your struggling reader, I'll leave a link below. One of the tips in there is that you have your child look at the beginning of the word and tap out the sounds of the first 3 or 4 letters. That generally gets them through the first syllable of the word. And if they can get through the first syllable of the word and think about what they're reading, they can usually figure out the entire word. Now, I have several other videos that relate to this sort of thing. I'm going to leave those in the description below because you may want to binge watch some of these if your child is struggling with reading or if you're nervous about learning how to teach your child to read. It really doesn't take that much time in a day, especially if your child already knows the letters and sound. If you would like my guide, 5 quick tips to immediately help your struggling reader, be sure to check that out in the description below. I will also leave a link for my link tree. Now that's going to have any other free guides that I've given away at some point, and you can get on my email list and you can find out when I have the next blog article or whatever. You're here on YouTube because you probably prefer listening or watching a video, but I do have a blog on my website, theparentteacherbridge.com as well. So make sure you check that out. Leave a comment below. How has any of this helped you in teaching your child to read, or has this answered all of your questions? If you have an additional question, please leave that in the comment below, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Can you think of anybody else that this might help? Please click share and share it with a friend. Remember, You are your child's most influential teacher.